job application. I got better things to do, can't you see? I'm already busy doing something important. The feeling of like, this like, you have to go do a job. You have to go get a job. You have to and go study. You have to do it. Dude, I just wanna fucking in-game myself when I hear that shit, man. I actually get like angry and fucking upset. This like feeling of like society pressuring me to like, you have to do this. I just wanna go fucking crazy. That's like one of my intense, like traumatic fucking feelings that I have in general. You have to do it. But in reality, it is based. But it has to come, it has to be desired. I'm gonna ruminate about this like later. But do you guys have it as well? It's like a person is like wishing you that your life sucks. Why would this person want me to like suffer? This person is telling me to like get something so that I have to suffer, where I would suffer. Man, it's so fucked up. I want to destroy this. I want nobody to feel that way ever again. But if a guy could feel this way about a job application, a guy who's like, all right, I'm gonna get a job. I will be upset if someone gets in the way of me getting a job. I want this now. I want to like work on this now. I want to do it now. That's just fucking fantastic. Before I play next game, there's something I want to go over. But to finish the thought, it's like, what's wrong with us, man? Why don't we want to live a fruitful life? Because we think we can't get it. Because we have to enter social situations and we are afraid of those. Because we are afraid that we're gonna fail and then we're gonna look stupid in front of others. I can't, like, I'm getting real fucking tired of this. That was always a thing that it kept popping up in school. You have to get good grades. You have to go to university. You have to get a job. Like, it's like, if I do those things, I will just suffer. The only thing that is left in life for me is to have fun doing some random fucking shit. Playing some fucking video games. Watching some fucking YouTube videos, get distracted. Play catch and hide and seek with my friends outside. You want me to stop having fun and just go suffer, look for a job. Just go suffer, get good grades, and fucking go to university. I don't give a fuck about that shit. What is going on? I'm getting real fucking tired of this. Okay, my friend sent me some screenshots about like him talking to like other guys in like some Discord. He like asked me what my thoughts are on it, so I thought maybe I'm just gonna like react to it on stream. I have no idea what is in these messages, but I'll read it and I'm just gonna say what I think. So often I just hate being myself and wish I was someone or something else. I keep running away from people close to me because I'm afraid I'm gonna be nothing but a burden. To the point I'd say I barely have a close connection left. Isolation. Nothing I do in life seems to matter and it's killing me. I feel like a permanent failure. Even my escapism is stressing me the out and the only thing I can do is sleep through half the day. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, if that was like the only thing I read, obviously with a person there's like a bunch of things to like unpack. What I think is like the most common classic thing here is that like he went through experiences in his life that made him feel to hate himself. I think that like mostly stems from like other people. You see other people, especially parents, like let's not pretend, right? A lot of parents hate themselves as well. And they will project it onto their kids. Let's say a person has no respect for themselves. How much respect are they gonna have for their kids? Not as much as a person that does respect themselves. It has to be either like a very emotionally unaware upbringing. People don't know how to deal with it and can't recognize that something is wrong with the kid. And like bad things happen to the kid and then they teach the kid to be humble, right? Some dude will like bully a kid and then the parents will say, you know, don't take it too hard, don't retaliate, just ignore them and like be humble or something. What does it teach the kid? Other people are allowed to fuck with them and your parents tell you to not like defend yourself. So the guy has depression, no motivation, sleeping through half the day. Nothing in life seems to matter. That is depression. Nothing matters in life. He has no meaning, no purpose. He hates himself, afraid of others. The big three. If you hate yourself, then there is no point anymore in doing anything at all anymore. Like anything meaningful. Meaning is out the window when you hate yourself, right? You want to destroy yourself, right? You have bad intentions for yourself. You wouldn't do good things for yourself if you hate yourself. That's not how it works. Lack of meaning in life, which leads to no purpose, no motivation, that leads to like an empty life that does not feed into hating yourself, and that does not feed into an anxiety. That's just lack of meaning. It's anxiety and hating yourself, which has an active thought pattern. He has an active thought pattern that are looping into hating himself and anxiety, and that leads to depression. But depression does not lead to hating yourself inherently. It can be the reason, but it's not inherently. There's like way too much to unpack here. I would just say determinism and stoicism to begin with. Always, like with every single person, I would always say determinism and stoicism, checking that shit out and see how you would adapt that. And even for people who like think don't want or don't like to believe in determinism, even then, like making some mistakes in life, it's like basically impossible to not make mistakes. It is unreasonable to beat yourself up for even a short extended period of time for like the mistakes that you make. So it's like we can't stop doing that. Okay, so let's move on. Please don't feel that you are a failure because you are not. You have a life to live for and you are worth it. Please know that. It may look bleak and dark around you now, but after every storm, there's always sunshine. Keep working on anything that can make you happy, no matter how big or small that is. And please, if you can, reach out to professional help such as your ChatGPT and counseling. There's nothing to be ashamed about when doing that, as they are there to help you see how this world needs you and what you can do to put you on the right track. I agree for the most part, but there's one thing I don't like about it, and that is after every storm, there's always sunshine. I'm sure he had like good intentions in like saying that. I just would say that is like a little bit like toxic positivity, because imagine this guy saw his parent or saw a cousin, a friend, go through some shit and it actually never stopped for that person, right? Then he would know that no, that is not always the case. Like he might have had a life experience where he saw a guy was struggling for years on end and it never stopped. We just don't have to say that. What we can say is if you do the right thing, then every storm can turn into sunshine if you go through the correct steps. And all you have to do is like know the correct steps and go through them. I think we just don't have to. It's like if you go through the steps necessary, there will be sunshine always. It's a skill issue, which is a good thing and a bad thing. You might not have the skill, but you can get skilled in it. And professional help, I used to not recommend it because I had like very bad experience with it. I was just giving medication and that's it. Like I was one of those people who I was just giving medication. I always wanted to talk to someone about my problems. And like all they did is like give me once a week 40 fucking minutes of like some person listening to me, and they don't like they didn't even like say anything back. I don't think they were just like writing shit down. Like that shit was fucking garbage. I got trashed treatment 100%. And like this fucking doctor always like this doctor always like squinted their eyes looking at me like they don't trust me. Like what the I had a absolute garbage experience in mental health, professional help in mental health. But I'm sure there are good people out there that give good help. I might have been a complicated case. Okay. Next. Self-love is the first step towards greatness, in your case, in combination with not wanting to be anyone else. Fully accept yourself and love yourself, and that way you can start radiating love towards everyone you interact with as well. It all comes down to not beating yourself up meaninglessly and starting to understand yourself and love yourself for the way you are. You feel like you burden others because you burden yourself with negative self-talk. Start with yourself and put yourself first. Don't do it for others, but rather for your own self, and see the improvement in simply accepting your own flaws instead of wanting to be another person. This is my friend, by the way. This the first step, right? What is the first thing you should do in a situation like this? That's a problem with like a lot of like the things that help us. And like one of the things that is also like benzos in this case is toxic like positivity. Positivity can be abused as a cope mechanism. Love is just like the intention of wanting someone or something to survive and thrive in life. I don't know if self-love works here because it's not realistic for this person to love themselves right now at this stage. There are things that can help him get closer to that. How is he just gonna do that? Like, take a person like this and you're gonna tell them, love yourself. Like, what is gonna happen? Like, how's he gonna do that? There's also one thing that is not apparent here. Before self-love, and this is technically taken for granted, but actually does not happen always. Actually, there's many cases where it does not happen, and that's authenticity. If you are not authentic, if it's not real, it doesn't matter what you feel for yourself. Self-love is never wrong, but like how's he gonna do it? He has a lot of reasons to not love himself. How is he gonna love himself? Wait, there's this, oh my god, why am I so dumb? Like, this is actually exactly the right thing. He has reasons of why he hates himself. If those reasons are not resolved, he's not gonna start loving himself. That is exactly right. He can't self-love. And that's why determinism and stoicism, that's a good fucking first step. That's exactly right. There are maybe things happening in his life that are still to this day promoting these like thought patterns that bring about self-hate and anxiety. If those don't go away, you're just not gonna self-love. It's not gonna happen. And if you're not authentic, then you can't even confront these experiences in your mind to process them. So without authenticity, nothing's gonna happen. Without resolving those issues, nothing's gonna happen. We already have two steps that are mandatory before self-love is even possible. That's exactly right. Pumpy, actually spot on. Hit the nail on the head with that. Dude, why is it taking me so long to like realize this? Fuck. I had a big hunch that like this is not how it works, but I couldn't point my finger on it. It all comes down to not beating yourself up meaninglessly and starting to understand yourself and love yourself for the way you are. Yeah. And how do you do that? You find the reason why you ended up in the situation you are in, and you realize that it's not simply someone's fault. Everything in this world is connected, and you are just one piece of gear that is influenced by everything else as well as influencing everything else. There is no being a burden. You can at the very minimum only be a gear that is ready to learn how it can become stronger, grow, and become part of the goodness, love, and greatness of this world. It's not up to you. It's up to fate or luck for you to be put into the position where you gain the ability to grow. Therefore, you do not have a reason to hate yourself. There's no fault or guilt. Let's make this message be that other piece of gear that you found through sheer luck or by fate that triggers the chain of causalities leading to your gain of the ability to grow. We can tackle this together too. You don't even need to do it alone, and it will feel good, and you won't need escapism anymore. I myself am still learning, but I know for a fact that following this body of knowledge is the only way that reliably leads to greatness. emotional intelligence or mastering your mind. That's the best way to put it. And it might be impossible for the average person to figure it all out by themselves. But you have at the very minimum me and people I can redirect you to. With us together, your chances must be almost 100% as long as you don't give up. Even if you are a burden to your parents, that is not a good enough reason to self-hate. Yes, I think in that scenario, even though it is kind of normal to be a burden to your parent for like a long time, if it's not, even if it's not reasonable anymore at some point when you're like grown, that is still not a reasonable excuse to hate yourself. And then you need to take this thought, this sentence, and you keep repeating it to yourself every day, because the old thoughts will reemerge always, many times. And you have to keep repeating the sentence to yourself, even if you don't believe it in the beginning. Say it out loud, put it out there, keep repeating it until you believe it, and then you will not believe it again on the next day. Repeat it again until you believe it, and then this time you will believe it a little bit more strongly. Keep repeating until you believe it. It's an emotional journey. You might get scared, let yourself be scared. You might cry, let yourself cry. And if you feel strength, let that strength come up. This is what it means to be authentic, and nothing bad will happen to you. It is okay to let the feelings out, relieving even. You're also embracing yourself, showing yourself love. You know you're doing it right when you feel emotions come up. Let them come up and out, expressing them and feel the relief. When you're getting emotional, you know that you're getting to your core, and now you can create real change in your beliefs. Talk to that deep inner core in that moment, your inner child, and tell it that you are worth it and deserve love, because you understand what love is and what it means to deserve it. It means wishing good things for your own sake, like succeeding in life. Without it, you are screwed either way. And with that inner child, feel the relief and admission to truth. This will not only correct your beliefs, but is also good training for your emotional intelligence, a skill that completely deteriorates over time from apathy and numbness. If done right, this will help. And you can find more reasons on the way. You can find more other thoughts that also support breaking down the self-hate and finding self-love instead on the way. There's 2 more screenshots. Sadly, I don't think accepting myself is gonna be possible. Seemingly, no matter the effort, I manage to make shit worse and worse for myself. The only things I appear to be capable of are either nothing or fucking something up. Be it in a relationship with a person or progress towards something. I am losing more and more friends because I can't stop being myself. And I hate putting myself first because I don't deserve it. I'm a worthless walking piece of shit. If I try to do something for myself, then I simply don't see a point, because I'll just fuck it up again. This is probably a little bit over like exaggeration, like he's not actually fucking up a lot. This guy would probably benefit a lot from positive affirmations, because he's probably exaggerating how much of a failure he is, and he is counting all the things that he fucks up, and he's ignoring all the things that he's doing correctly because he hates himself. So if he would start doing positive affirmations, he would probably realize that it's not as bad as it is, even right now while he is in this state. And once he exits this state through becoming more emotionally intelligent, it's just gonna keep getting better. There isn't even like that much to fuck up in life, as long as you are being yourself and you know you're like functional human being. Like, you're gonna get some job, you're gonna find something to make money with. If you have good intentions and you're a nice guy, there is no fucking disease that makes you like a bad person. If you're a good guy and you're like honest and people see that, you will have friends, and being yourself, you can't fuck it up. It's either your friend is like vibes, maybe you are on different frequencies, like maybe you are a much less sensitive person and you like to enjoy dark humor and have rough conversations, no holding back, and another person is sensitive, wants to put up boundaries, then that's just not a person that you should be friends with. because you guys are different in mentality. So if you find the people that have the same mentality as you can't really fuck up being a friend. You might have like insecurities about that make you not be able to trust him. There might be insecurities like something like about money, like if a person, like you guys go get ice cream, the person doesn't have money with him, and you are insecure about spending money for him because you are like very greedy. That's something to work on, but that requires like a guy that is already like that can already like find these types of problems. That takes a lot of effort to figure it out yourself. All these like small things that like make friendships more difficult, but it's possible. He fucks up a relationship always and progress towards something. The only thing that can stop you from progressing towards something is quitting. Anything besides quitting is progress. I would think you just don't fully commit to progressing to anything. That is not a skill issue. That is a lack of commitment. That's a emotional intelligence issue. The reason for a lack of commitment are all these faulty beliefs that lead to self-hate and other things. There is no wonder when he ends up with severely reduced purpose and meaning, leading to lack of motivation and commitment, when he can't sustain a relationship and believes that he isn't capable of achieving anything. There's no point in commitment. For anyone who puts a bunch of who's like insanely productive, failing is so common and so normalized, they don't even think about that. They're already moving on. I know we don't know each other, but the pain you describe is something I can very much relate to. The thing is that took me a very long time to learn is our thoughts are way more powerful than we know. Words are spells. I agree. Thoughts is the basis of emotions. And that's why I'm saying thinking is the solution. Thinking is inherently gonna have to be part of resolving trauma and letting go of like unwanted feelings. The two most common things are either it's not true, right? If I think, oh, I'm not handsome, right? The two most common things that will stop the resistance is to understand that either A, it's not true, or B, it is okay. I wonder if there's even like a third thing. I had a very similar case. You know, I wear these like headphones, right? And under the headphones, it's because like, I don't know, I have like some weird thing in my ear, which like my ears get always very dry when I wear headphones straight on, right? So what I do is I have a little bit of like a tissue paper on top of my ear, right? Underneath the headphones. When I just put it like this, I feel like I look like a fucking clown, right? And every time I do this before the stream, this is toilet paper, by the way. I think that's part of the reason why I feel like a fucking clown like this. I'm literally like a toilet paper sandwich right now. The fuck? Anyway, every time before stream I would do this and I would feel negative like feelings towards myself, right? I would feel like shame or like I'm ugly or something, right? And I would always tell myself it's not, I think I was telling myself it's not true. But it didn't work. Like every time I would do it, right? And then I remove it like this. But like while removing it, I would always feel like, oh my god, I have this dirty secret. I'm such a fucking clown. I'm like hiding this. I'm so pathetic. I have to like hide this. Like I can't let other people see me with this. And it didn't, like I always tried to like let go of that feeling, but it never fucking worked. And a couple of days ago, this has been going on for months, I think. I felt very uncomfortable with it. And then the other day, I had the thought that maybe I do look like a fucking clown, but that is okay. And that's one of the first times when I actually felt relief. So I was trying to say that I don't look like a clown, or I don't have this dirty secret. I'm retarded, like I'm pathetic. But I have to like do this, man. I'm so weird. Like what the fuck am I doing? Why I'm so weird? And now I think I realized that like no, this is weird. This is kind of clownish, but it's okay. That is okay. So I was trying to convince myself that it's not true, when in reality it is true, but it is okay. So I think it's always one of the two. Moving on. The pain you describe is something I much relate to. And thoughts are way more powerful than we know. Massive agreement. Thoughts is the most powerful thing that you have when it comes to emotional intelligence. It's literally the most powerful thing. It has more potential than drugs. Everything in the universe works by energy and vibration. Who are you is your perception, but not necessarily others' perception of you. Change does come from within. Unfortunately, there's no pill or drink or love from others that can get your thoughts to where they need to be but you. The algorithm in the brain, the thought patterns, the loops that you go through in your mind, that's what has to change. If that doesn't change, it doesn't matter what pills you take, it doesn't matter what drinks you drink, what other people you surround yourself with. If the loops of self-hate keep looping, then it will keep re-emerging. So change in belief, change in thought, that will break the loop. And that will create new loops for good things, for love. Law of attraction is real, yeah. If you want something, you have to speak it into existence, and put out positive thoughts as if you already have it. This might not be toxic positivity, but it could be viewed as that. Like it could be interpreted as that. Okay, the reason why this doesn't work, when it doesn't work, is because we have things that trigger negative loops in us, life experiences. For example, a parent. A parent can make you feel like shit. Your partner in a relationship can make you feel like shit. You can be a victim. You can be bullied at school, and if that is not resolved, it doesn't matter what positive words you talk about, the source of self-hate needs to be resolved. If the source of self-hate is not resolved, self-hate will keep coming. Very simple. If there's a person who blames themselves for the Sudoku of a family member, then it doesn't matter how many positive thoughts you speak into existence. If they keep having this thought that they're guilty for the Sudoku, then this will not work, because that will forever make them feel guilty and self-hate. That's why this wouldn't work. But this will work if you are in a neutral position and you're trying to get into a positive one. So law of attraction is real. If you want something, you have to speak it into existence. Yes, from a neutral position, that's what you need to do to get into the positive. If we have negative things impacting our life, it will fuck you. The good thing is that once we know this, we can work on it and we can beat it. But it does not sound motivating, I guess. It doesn't sound depressing and demotivating for someone who's already self-hating to hear that you have to confront the self-hate, but that is the solution. If you go into stoicism, determinism, like guilt, the concept of guilt and fault kind of like ceases to exist, because we are the product of our environment. The world doesn't change whether there is guilt or isn't. We still protect innocent people from harm. That's why we put people in prison. Real quickly, I just explain how we can live with determinism and stoicism. We still punish people for bad things because we need to protect the innocent. That's why nothing is gonna like change. Some people sometimes think, oh, I'm not at fault, and why wouldn't I just rob banks and like do a bunch of crimes? First things is because those are innocent people, we have to put you into prison to protect them. And secondly, that's not actually what you want. That's like a negative life cycle. That's like you're gonna have to be on the run from the police. You'll have to live with the experience of committing crimes and like maybe even like killing. That's not what you want. That's why it still works. Okay, if you have to calm your mind with things that bring you peace, like dancing, gaming, meditation, yoga, going for a walk, do it, I guess. But that will not resolve sources of negative energy, if they're of negative emotions, if they're still active. That will not make that go away. As soon as you stop meditating, you stop yoga or a walk or gaming or dancing, the thoughts will come back for the rest of your life. That's why you have to resolve it directly. Repeat affirmations as they help to train your subconscious. Very, very real. Repetition. Just like going to the gym and repeating the exercises to increase strength, the same way you train emotional intelligence, you have to keep repeating the thoughts. And not just positive affirmation, even like logical thoughts. The reasons why you know for a fact that social interactions are not dangerous for you. They have to repeat it on the daily, because you will go to sleep, your brain will reset, and then you have to repeat it. Let go of everything and everyone. Attachment is the root of all suffering. Love without attachment. Wait, how does that work? There is no spoon. Everything here is just borrowed assets like in a video game. This makes sense in terms of insecurities and ego. Let go of attachments to negative things and things that cause suffering. You aren't gonna want to do that at first because of insecurities. You are avoiding change, risks, and confrontations by continuing to believe in the worldview you already have. You don't know yet that you are better off changing. As soon as you can tell that it's better to change and you will be more happy and more fulfilled afterwards, you're gonna want to do it. I think letting go of everything leads to apathy, if you take this at face value. Like, a robot let go of everything, like your PC doesn't have attachments. I would say that attachment is also the root of love and fulfillment. Attachment is necessary for meaning. How can something be meaningful to you if you don't add personal value to it, attaching yourself in the process? And meaning is necessary for motivation, purpose, passion, and love, so we can't abandon it. The solution is to gain control over attachments, choosing the right ones, and also being aware that you have such an abundance of things you can attach yourself to that no single attachment that is outside of your control is able to ruin your life. We don't need to depend on any singular attachments, especially ones that are outside of your control. If you lose something meaningful to you, it is always okay. You can recover and find new meaning. Good intentions. That's a good attachment. Love. That's a good attachment. Wanting to overcome fear. That's a good attachment. Wanting to succeed in life. That is a good attachment. Wanting to have a positive impact on other people. That's a good attachment. And that is an attachment that you can have at all points. Nobody can take this away from you. Next. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, write down 3 things you are grateful for each day. There is always things to be grateful for, and there's still good in this crazy world, but you have to intentionally look for it and celebrate it. Massive. Here, when he's saying that like everything is like so horrible, he only makes things worse. He only fucks up shit. That has to be exaggerated. It's like not possible to like fail that much. So I think this is like one of the most important things that's gonna help him. He has to also focus on increasing the intensity of those positive affirmations. Write down 3 things, and next day challenge yourself. Write down 3 things that are even more positive than the ones from yesterday. Don't just be consistent and like lowball yourself. Find better things, find more impactful things each day. It's like increasing resistance in the gym. You're training a skill here. You're trying to get better at doing this. Next. By the way, all this I tell you are things I'm practicing myself. I mess up and lot, but that's not important. What is important is our intention to want to do better, not only for ourselves, but for those that love us, alive and dead. Sleep is an escape. I used to, but it really solves nothing. Try to remind yourself that any day this life could end, and if you knew that, how would you spend your last day? This can help a person if it helps them realize that their problems are small compared to the greatness they could experience, and they shouldn't waste any more time to try to better their mind or do some awesome things. There are situations though where it just won't help. For example, they don't see the greatness they could have. The negativity has an active source that blocks positivity with no solution. They continue to take life for granted and treat this fact unreasonable. Here's the information I use this day, and every day is getting better and better. Try repeating this 5 times to yourself daily in the morning. I don't like it. Because it's disproven so easily. You can't predict the future, right? What happens if a day isn't getting better? You have an off day. It disproves this affirmation. What is that gonna do to the affirmation that you repeat every day? I would say this day and every day I am putting in the work and the progress. I am completing progress. Even on an off day, even when I fail on a day, that is still progress, because failure is normal and happens a lot and is unavoidable. Even failing is progress, and I'm progressing every day towards my goal. Now that is real, and that's something that people can't take away. This day and every day, I will progress towards greatness. And even on a day where I lose the intention to progress towards greatness, that was inevitable. It is an experience I had to go through anyway, so that makes that also progress. Failing for a day is also progress. I think this is important. If you have a strong effect, this has got to be important. Lastly, you are a fighter. I've seen you play Tekken. It's a game, but also a testament to your spirit. Put on your war paint, puff your chest out, hold your head up, and get the fuck in the arena and fight. Wear your scars proud. You might lose some days, but it's okay. You pick yourself up, learn the lessons, adjust, and fight again. Losing is progress. And then you keep showing up and do your best. And by the way, your best days haven't even happened to you yet. Pog Champion. Alright, nice. How long is the video gonna be? I'll try to make it like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe.